3 months after Daniel's death, Grace heard a knock at the villa door. When she opened it, no one was there. But sitting on the doormat was a single envelope. Inside was a note written in Daniel's handwriting. "Stop looking for me. You're next." What happens next will turn this entire case upside down and leave investigators asking if they've been chasing the wrong person all along. If you love deep dives into chilling true crime stories, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what you're about to hear isn't just a story, it's a case that's still unsolved, and every share helps keep the pressure on investigators. Grace ran to the police station with the envelope, insisting Daniel was alive. But investigators weren't convinced. Handwriting experts said it was probably Daniel's, but without DNA, they couldn't be sure. Police widened their search. They checked ferry logs, bus stations, airports. And then, they found something chilling. A man matching Daniel's description had checked into a budget hostel 2 weeks after the murder using a fake name and paying in cash. The clerk swore he had a deep cut on his neck, but was alive. Police dug into Daniel's life even deeper. They discovered $250,000 had been wired out of his joint account the day before the murder to an offshore bank. The transfer required both Daniel and Grace's signatures. Grace swore she never signed anything. Grace, in police interview.
"I didn't touch that money. If he took it, it means he planned all of this. He planned to leave me."
Detectives now faced 2 possibilities. Grace was lying and helped Daniel disappear. Daniel staged his own murder, stole the money, and vanished, framing Grace for the fallout. Police re-examined the villa footage frame by frame. At 1:40 a.m., masked man enters. At 2:13 a.m., Daniel leaves barefoot. But here's what no one noticed before. The masked man never left the villa on camera. Meaning there were 2 people inside the villa after Grace went to sleep, Daniel and whoever was wearing his shirt. Which means Daniel might not have been running for his life. He might have been running with someone. Grace stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. Everywhere she went in town, she swore she saw Daniel in cafes, at the market, standing by the pier. Friends flew out from Chicago to bring her home. But she refused to leave. Grace in her video diary.
"If he's alive, I need to see him. I need him to look me in the eye and tell me why."
She started hanging missing posters, not for Daniel's killer, but for Daniel himself. Locals called her the Ghost Bride. 3 months later, police received a tip about a burnt-out car found in the jungle. Inside, they discovered a charred body. Dental records confirmed it was Daniel. Grace collapsed when she heard the news. But then, the coroner made a shocking discovery. Daniel had been dead only 2 weeks. Meaning he survived the first attack. Faked his disappearance. And then someone killed him for real. Detectives began asking who would want Daniel dead twice. They uncovered that Daniel had been involved in a crypto scam back in Chicago, one that defrauded investors of millions. One of those investors, a man named Viktor Resnick, a former associate of an Eastern European crime syndicate. Viktor had been spotted in Bali the same week Daniel died. Detective in a press conference.
"We are no longer investigating this as a domestic crime. We are investigating organized retaliation."
Grace was placed under police protection. One night, while reviewing Daniel's belongings, she found a burner phone hidden in the lining of his suitcase. On it were voice notes. The last one was recorded the night he died. Daniel's voice, static-filled.
Grace, if you find this, I'm sorry. I messed up. They found me. Don't trust.
The message cuts off. And that was the moment Grace realized someone close to her might have betrayed Daniel. Grace returned to the villa one last time. On the kitchen counter was another envelope. Inside was a single photo, grainy, taken from a distance. It showed Daniel, very much alive, sitting on a boat at sunset, with his arm around another woman. On the back of the photo was a date. Tomorrow. Which means whoever killed him isn't finished yet. Grace stared at the photograph. Daniel's face turned slightly toward the camera, smiling. He was alive. And the date written on the back. Tomorrow. It meant this wasn't just a memory, it was a warning. Grace immediately took the photo to the police. The investigator squinted at it under the harsh fluorescent light. Detective.
This was taken on the harbor. Look, those boats only dock on Sundays. That means whoever sent this knew he'd be there again tomorrow.
Grace didn't sleep that night. She sat at the villa table, staring at Daniel's face in the photograph. Grace.
If he's alive, does that mean he's been hiding from me? Or protecting me?
By dawn, she made up her mind. She would go to the harbor. Grace arrived early, wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses. She hid behind a stack of fishing nets, scanning every boat. Her heart thudded so loud she swore the dockworkers could hear it. Hours passed. Then, just after 3 p.m., a man stepped off a boat. Tall. Familiar gait. Daniel. Grace nearly shouted his name, but then she saw her. A woman with dark hair and sunglasses followed him, resting her hand casually on his shoulder. They walked together down the pier, laughing. Grace.
He wasn't just alive. He was happy.
Grace followed them at a distance, heart pounding. They stopped at a beachside cafe. Daniel sat with his back to the ocean. The woman leaned close, speaking in low tones. Grace pulled out her phone and filmed. Suddenly, Daniel looked up and locked eyes with her. For 3 long seconds, they just stared. Then he grabbed the woman's hand and ran. Grace sprinted after them, weaving through market stalls, knocking over baskets of fruit. She lost them in the crowd. By the time police arrived, they were gone, vanished into the maze of streets. But Grace had captured something in her video. A clear shot of the woman's face. When detectives ran it through their database, the result shocked everyone. The woman was identified as Mila Resnick, sister of Victor Resnick, the man Daniel allegedly scammed back in Chicago. Meaning Daniel wasn't hiding from Grace. He was hiding with the sister of the man who wanted him dead. Detective in a press conference.
We now believe Daniel entered into a relationship with Mila Resnick and may have staged his own disappearance to escape financial and criminal repercussions.
Grace's world shattered. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just sat there, numb, as police dusted the photo for prints. Everything, the wedding, the honeymoon, the fight, had been leading to this moment. Grace.
He didn't just leave me. He chose her.
But then came the twist no one expected. DNA results from the photo came back, and there was blood on the edge of it. Fresh blood. Not Daniel's. Mila's. And it matched blood found in the burnt-out car where Daniel's body was discovered. Which meant one thing. Mila was with Daniel when he was killed. Police tracked Mila to a remote bungalow outside Ubud. When they arrived, they found her sitting on the porch, smoking. She didn't resist arrest. Inside the house, investigators found Daniel's watch, phone, and a journal. The final entry read, "Grace, if you ever read this, I didn't know how to tell you. I was in over my head. I owed them too much money. Mila said she could protect me. But if you're reading this, it means I didn't make it. Please go home. Live your life. I'm sorry." Grace wept as the journal was handed to her. Mila turns and whispers, "He was supposed to survive. Someone else wanted him dead."